I feel like we should go right into the intro.
Let's do it.
And then we'll come out of the intro and then we'll go to us, right?
I like that. Let's do that.
This is exciting. Bobby, we need a special intro for you.
Amazing.
I love it. I'm just checking really quickly to make sure that we are, in fact, as I've said, on everywhere. We're on air everywhere. Okay, we're on Twitch, YouTube. All right, great. I'll keep checking. All right, I'm gonna play our intro, and then Nicole, it's me and you at the end. Here we go.
Hello, friends.
Oh, we're doing this again.
It's time for the spectacular.
Oh, I'm excited.
A jumbo series of live shows.
Cool.
With guests whom you all know.
We sure do. Here's all music.
We got all you need in the TV Co app, which is free. We're talking everyday life with BB alums, old school, new school. It's all epic fun.
So
let's get started, friends, because us three got a lot to discuss.
We do.
It's time to enjoy the show.
It is.
Let's see who'll be joining us.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah. You're doing great.
Guess who's enjoying the intro?
Hooray!
It's
Nicole,
me, and I'm sorry, Nicole, I tried for you, but we got guests. We gotta start the show. Go, Nicole, start the show. Start it now. Hello, everybody. We are back. Nicole, how are you doing?
I am so super excited. Today is the best day ever.
It is our first Hello Friends Live back. Well, I mean, I want to say our first, since you've gotten out of the Big Brother house, but we did the little 3-thing special. This is really the kickoff of us being back for real. I want to let everybody know we also have another exciting thing to let you guys all know about right now, and that is we're live streaming everywhere.
Yay!
So you guys can watch us on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Facebook. I feel like I'm forgetting places. We're working on getting the Instagram to work, but you guys can watch us now everywhere. We will be, for this show, taking questions from the TV Co chat. So make sure you put them in there. As we go forward in the future, we will be collecting them from all the places you guys are watching. But I am very excited. Now, Nicole, if people want to see past shows, where can they check them out?
Oh man, if you want to see any of our past coverage of The Circle, The Challenge, Big Brother Canada, even current coverage of this season of Big Brother, it is all exclusively in the TV Co app. But from this point forward, as Eric was saying, it will be broadcast everywhere.
If you need a home base, of course, there is always HelloFriendsPod.com for you guys to see all of our content if you're looking for where it is. And if you are watching the show right now, well, in the TV Co app, click the 3 little buttons and share it, or share it however you share it on all of those other fun places where you share. Of course, if you have any questions, you can tweet us them with a TV Co Live or leave them in the TV Co chat room. We will be collecting them. But Nicole, I know that you are so excited for this moment, as am I. So I'm going to let you do the honors.
Okay. I, as well as Eric, am so super excited to present our guest this episode. It is somebody who I had the pleasure of meeting literally yesterday of last year. It is somebody who is incredibly talented as a comedian, incredibly talented as a voice actor. So many projects. I can't wait to chat with him. And I have to give credit to Mark Townsend on Twitter with the live from Long Island. It's Hello Friends with Bobby Moynihan.
Yay! Hello, Bobby. How you doing?
Good. How are you? How's everything?
Oh, I'm sorry. We're posting the share. I always forget about the share pose.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Bobby. How are you?
Hi. How are you guys? Good. Doing well. My
We are doing splendid.
Yes. So excited. Like being live everywhere now. This is so weird. I don't even know where to look. There's so many things happening. We are so excited to have you here for our kickoff of Hello Friends being back.
Congratulations.
Yes, Bobby, I wanted to start first by asking you, where are you located? Because I know we're over on Long Island.
I am in clearly my college dorm. No, I'm in Los Angeles currently.
Nice. And how are things over there?
I mean, we're doing okay. We're hanging in. It's a little cloudy, which is not fun, but yeah, but we're doing okay. Everything's trucking along.
Nice. That's what we like to hear.
Yeah.
Yes.
What's interesting is last year in LA is where I met you. And what's weird is it was literally yesterday of last year that I met you.
That's bonkers. That's crazy. When you said that, I was a little taken aback. It seems like 20 years ago and yesterday.
Yep, right. So much time and yet nothing.
How long have you been? I'm sorry, I'm immediately asking Big Brother questions, but how long have you been out of the house?
So somebody asked me that question today and I was like, like 2 weeks. It hasn't been 2 weeks, Bobby. It has been about maybe like 5 weeks, I believe. 4 or 5 weeks.
Wow. Yeah. I was gonna say, wow. Did you have to? Yeah. I'm sure. I'm gonna take over the interview now.
Well, I want to actually start with that. I know you're a huge Big Brother fan. For those of our viewers wondering how I met you, it was at the BB21 after party. I was walking into the room with my mom and sisters, bumped right into you, and was like, Bobby! And you were like, Nicole! And I was like, Bobby!
I was super bummed because I was on my way out, and I was like, I'm super bummed I didn't get a chance to meet Nicole. You were one of my favorites. I think you got robbed. I also, this season going in, I was full team Nicole.
Oh, I appreciate it so much.
Such a shame you got robbed. This whole season is insane.
This season is. Let me get your thoughts on it. I know people have heard a lot of my thoughts. So, what are your thoughts? Who are your favorites? Who are your maybe not so favorite?
Wow, it's crazy going in. I was going in. When they first announced who it was, me and my wife were like, okay. I was like, okay, Nicole. I'm a big Ian fan. I like Ian, and I was super excited to see David do stuff. Like he had that one amazing edit. Like he had like a thing where when he came back in the house after, where he pieced everything together, and then like I was like, oh, I can't wait, and then. This whole season has just been like.
You think so? You don't think he's kind of like climbing?
I hope so. I hope, but a lot of the I feel like a lot of the Ian's out because of something he did. Like as a fan, and just as a watcher of the show, I also used to watch the live feeds a lot more, but like now, and you would think during a pandemic I would be glued to the live feeds, but I just haven't been as much for maybe because this season has just been weird. But
that's what I was going to ask. Is it because you're busy?
Weird.
Or because you're avoiding?
No. To be completely honest, I would watch it no matter what. But I have a 3-year-old who really enjoys playing, so that's all I do all day.
I think I'm going to describe this season as weird from now on.
Weird is good. Weirder than like I'll never forget walking into that house clanging pans when I got to host it. Like so bizarre and weird. We have to one day, me and you, just sit down and talk. I have a bazillion questions.
And I have a bazillion answers, and I can go for a long time talking about this.
That's amazing.
Well,
I feel terrible. I feel like now I'm just fangirling out.
I was going to say, I guess I'll go fuck myself. Here we go. Bye. You two go ahead and do that. There you go.
Oh, us too. You're still here, Eric.
Oh, darn. They can still hear me. No, it's good. Nicole has a lot of secrets. It's good. You'll like that. After this call, you guys can stay on each other. What, God?
The one thing I have to ask, because a lot have been asking it on Twitter, a lot are asking it in the chat. Bobby, would you ever do Celebrity Big Brother? No? Why not?
No, never. No, I would never. I love the show. And like maybe 20 years ago, maybe I would have done it, like as a fan.
Mm-hmm.
But I also think there's a sweet spot that I would have done it in, which is like maybe like right as the internet was coming out, where people were like, have you heard about this thing? Like right around there might have been like the best part to do it. Mm-hmm. or in like 10 years from now, when
Okay.
people have figured out how to just not go on there and accidentally ruin their lives, or it's just so I've gotten to walk around backstage at that house, like, it's bonkers. It's a commitment.
It really is.
I mean, if there was, so I'm assuming you're saying because of the live feeds and stuff, and we know that there is a small percentage, because I truly believe the majority of Big Brother fans are good people, and like the community that has been built around Big Brother is why I do what I do. Like, they are some of the just best group of people is Big Brother fans and live feed watchers. But yes, there is a teeny percentage that is toxic. So if there was no, so my question is, if there was no live feeds, would that impact you doing Celebrity Big Brother?
I mean, yes, and no. I would still never do it, just because I'm a father now, and and like I love the show. I also, that's another thing too, is like I completely agree with you guys. Like, going on that show though is a you, Nicole, for instance, you're a very good, nice person, and
thank you.
and it came across. Like, it's like, so what happens is I feels like, to me, being completely honest, like a television network edits you in a certain way that they can, they can't completely make stuff up, but they can also turn you into a character on the show.
Yes.
But the real fans are also watching the other thing. I like it because it's essentially, I mean, it's this terrible thing to say, but it's like, it's a human zoo. And as somebody who was like, who went through SNL and like had that happen, I was just a kid from New York too. I'm from Eastchester, New York. And then all of a sudden my life stream came true, and your whole life changes, and it gets very strange. And it's what you do with it afterwards.
And then afterwards, you're like, oh, wow, this is like a thing now. Because I really thought like I was going to go on the show, come off, and then just fade into obscurity.
Well, yeah, it's super weird too. It's also like, it's, you don't necessarily, I didn't spend my whole life going, oh gosh, I hope someone recognizes me at a gas station.
Yeah.
I spent my whole life going, oh God, I wish I could be funny enough to be on SNL. And then it happens. And then afterwards you're like, oh, all this other stuff. Plus you also have to make a career after. Well, now I'm just chatting about insanity, but when you go into that house, when you choose to go into that house, you're changing your life. You're making a decision.
It's a life commitment, absolutely. And yes, people can choose afterwards to kind of like put it behind them and move forward, but it's always a part of you. So it's not a seasonal commitment. It is a forever commitment.
And people are fans of it. There's a rabid fan base, so it means a lot to them.
Yeah,
absolutely. And I mean, talking about like the fan base is obviously a huge fan base, especially here in New York, for SNL, which we have to talk about, because Bobby, you have, I would argue, some of the best impersonations, skits, characters. I know one thing me and my family always reference, and this is just like the most random one, but the skeletons with David Pumpkins. I must do that dance every other day.
that makes me happy. That makes me very happy that it exists for that reason.
And I think what I want to ask is, like, when going into SNL, do you have your characters already, like, these are the ones I want to make sure, like, I propose and that I do, or do you work with a team to then come up with them, or does it, like, how does that start?
I worked with a team of the brightest comedians in the world to come up with 2 dancing skeletons. No, I pretty much did though. Yeah, that was silly. That's like one of those magical, like, that's what SNL is. Like 4:00 in the morning, you're talking. It was me and Mikey Day and Streeter Seidel and these other 2 writers, and we're just talking about SNL, and we're fans, and talking about how let's try and write something for Halloween so that we could get it on the Halloween special. And then we were talking about how there was no Santa Claus for Halloween, and who would be like the weirdest, like, there's no Santa Claus. We thought like David Pumpkins like is like the Santa Claus for Halloween, but it made no sense. And then, now we're sitting here talking about it and it's insane. Like, it's like, that was the best part of SNL, was those moments. Like, but there were a lot of moments where you sit there and try and come up with the funniest idea in the world and spend 12 hours writing it, and it's just terrible and nothing happens. But then if at 5 a.m. someone goes, "What about this?" And that takes off.
And you have so many amazing ones. Like, oh my gosh, when I think of Weekend Update, Drunk Uncle, Anthony with his like second-hand news.
I'm sure you've
and
seen that a lot in Long Island.
Oh my gosh. I think everybody has at least one of them. I wouldn't say family, in their workplace. There's always one who thinks they know how they have all the news, and they just don't.
Completely. Colin Jost went to high school he's from Staten Island, not Long Island. Staten Island. He went to high school with a kid named Anthony Crispino, and that's why we named it.
Does he still talk to this kid?
Yeah.
Okay.
Colin wrote a movie called Staten Island Summer that I'm in, and the real Anthony Crispino is one of the extras in it. He's in it. I think I like high five him or I think it's crazy.
Cool. That's really cool. Now, of all your characters, we've seen you do Snooki, we've seen you do Guy Fieri. What's your favorite? Like, which one are you like, oh my gosh, I get to do this tonight. This is so exciting. I can't wait.
Eric, what would you say?
Well, I was getting it ready. I would go with Snooki, clearly, but I do feel like everybody does love Drunk Uncle. But yes, just because I feel, first of all, you just compared Long Island to Staten Island. No. You can't do that. But no. So I love anything that makes fun of New Jersey. So I preferred when you did Snooki.
I was gonna say, oh God, what was his name? Chris Christie, unfortunately.
Oh. Christie. Which one's your favorite, Bobby?
I mean, Drunk Uncle was a blast. I mean, like, that was, I had the most fun doing that with Seth and Colin. Like, as far as like, that was the one that I really got to play around a little bit, and just, that was fun. Snooki was a blast, because I feel like that was like, I was on SNL before I realized it. Like, it was like, people really liked Snooki, and they were like, we're bringing it back. And it didn't dawn on me like that, like they were bringing it back because she was super famous and this thing was happening. Like, that was the first one where it hit, and I was like, oh. Then the next thing I knew, I was shooting with her, dressed as her, at the MTV Movie Awards or something. Like, it was like bizarre.
Oh.
But
so cool.
But I that whole year, that whole season that I did it, my whole bathtub and everything was orange from being painted orange in my house. Everything in my house was orange.
Oh my God.
Makeup stuck to my pillows with orange makeup.
When you're doing like Weekend Updates, so now, do you have like a complete script? Do you have like the bullets, or is it just like, I'm Drunk Uncle, I go out there and I just ad-lib and wing it?
Oh, I wish. No, it was all cue cards. There's a guy named Wally, the best guy in the world, who holds cue cards. It's all written out. But like, I was allowed to, as far as like pacing and taking my time, and like, I often like would just grab Colin and like mess up his hair or try and punch him.
Yes.
Like, just do like, just like, as far as like, you have a little bit more freedom in Update to have fun. And I come from an improv background, so that was like a blast. We didn't like fully improvise, I wish. But
I love it. Absolutely. I see a lot of people in chat asking, is there any fun behind the scenes moment from your time at SNL?
I mean, yeah, I don't know what I've told before. Like the first thing that came to mind when you said that time was like, especially in just recent times, because now you just think everything is so insane. I remember standing next to Trump when he was hosting. I know, it's the worst, when he was hosting.
Wow.
And he was just like, it was quiet, like nobody wanted to talk to him, and
Oh,
like at one point he just said like, I get my Secret Service this Sunday, and like just kind of came out of nowhere. He just mentioned that he was getting his Secret Service this Sunday, and we were like, oh wow.
yeah, cool,
And
cool.
he's like,
Donald?
but like, I'm from New York. If I want to get a sandwich, I'll go get a sandwich. They can't stop me. And I was just thinking about this. I was just like, no one asked. No one. He was just so nervous,
to
and
build
awkward
awkward silence.
that he just went like, my toys are better than your toys. Like he's just.
Yeah.
I love that.
Ugh.
I love hearing you, like, oh gosh, like seeing you at work. It's amazing.
He's awful.
Yeah, it is all of Saturday Night Live. And it is even, such a testament to them how they have adapted to these new times with COVID and doing. It is so amazing that they can still translate how funny the skits are and the work is. It really comes through, and I just think it's amazing, and it lets them, I'm assuming it lets them reach more people that they've wanted to be on the show that might not have been able to do it otherwise now in this new format that we're all doing stuff.
Yeah, you guys, congratulations once again for this being your first time live everywhere, because it looks amazing and it's technically fantastic. But I cannot believe, as a ex-cast member, I can't believe it. But as a lifelong SNL fan, watching those couple shows that they did from home was like the most beautiful thing in the world. Like it's still it's like very much the show must go on at that place. And Lauren is I feel like Lauren's at the center of that. I don't know. I read that Lauren article that came out today about him saying they're doing the show and they're gonna try, and like how they have to. It's just I cannot believe it. I'm amazed. It's beautiful that it's still around. It's a beautiful.
Extremely innovative. Very impressive.
It is. It is amazing. Oh, go ahead, Nicole. Sorry.
And because you were on SNL obviously for a number of years. I see a lot of people asking like, who is your favorite host that was on the show while you were there?
Thank you for asking, Eric. If you could not chime in as much.
Okay.
Because I feel like it's
because Nicole, it's her.
I just feel like you've been taking it over a lot.
I will.
Thank you.
Okay. I have a great question, buddy. Who's your favorite host? I see a lot of people in chat asking.
Oh, no way!
Yeah.
It changes a lot. Right now, what I remember, Paul Rudd always stands out as like, he was just like such a good, solid guy all around, and you. It's a tense place. It's a very tense place, and you go like, that guy's just great. He's got it figured out. He's a good guy. But then there were like Adam Driver was like maybe my favorite. Seth Rogen, like I'm just a huge fan of his. So like to get to do that was great. Sigourney Weaver was absolutely insane.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, she was one of my favorites. Like I don't know. They're all for different reasons.
Right.
I don't know.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I have
what about?
Go ahead.
Eric, Bobby told you to be quiet for a second.
Okay.
Bobby, what about musical guests?
Oh wow! Tribe Called Quest was like insane. Wow. Gosh, there's so many. But what's weird is I wasn't what sticks with me now. A couple years out afterwards are ones that I wasn't expecting. Like I was
One Direction.
Well, correct. Well, like he was great. He was super funny. That Harry Styles was very funny, and they were all very nice. I was in a sketch with that boy. But like seeing like I Lady Gaga kind of wasn't on my radar. So like my first introduction to Lady Gaga was like seeing her perform live 10 feet away from me, and I was just like,
wow,
whoa, like who is this? Like like that sticks with me as one of the crazy things. Seeing Beyonce perform like when she did Alicia Keys, like there's a whole bunch that stick with me.
And I see a Top Gun Phantom in chat says, I want to know about Bobby's epic SNL after parties.
I see Top Gun. What was it?
Top Gun Phantom.
I like that. Sounds like an improv team. I mean, like, after parties were great in the beginning, and by my 9th year, I was like, "Good night, guys." After the show, I was like, "I'll see you later." I petered out. It got tiresome, but I mean, like, in the first couple of years, I would get home at 3:00 in the afternoon on Sunday and just be like, it was insane.
It's incredible how early I need to get up in the morning.
Nicole, for real, do you remember that after party when you came out of the Big Brother house that night? Do you remember how insane it was?
Well, here's the thing.
Imagine doing that every week for 9 years.
Oh God.
Oh my God. I didn't know, like, they had people enter one at a time. So I was one of the last people there, and I was exhausted having only been there for a short amount of time. I was so overwhelmed by lights and people and sweat, and yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah. It's like that every single week. It's insane. Plus you just also did a show and you're like, it's insane.
Yeah, you're exhausted. Yeah. I actually have a question.
But it was the best.
That my sisters asked, and I need to make sure I ask it because they always say every week we watch SNL. In the beginning credits, when they announce your names and it's like you guys like walking, like how does that come to be? Do you say like I want to be by a water fountain or I want to be in a cafe, or do they tell you where you're going to be?
I'm so mad that I just now all I want to do is go back at a water fountain and just turn the camera. Just be like, oh, you caught me off guard. I was just about to drink this water. That's hilarious. When I first started, it was like they had the opening credits had been around, like they had used it for a couple of years, so they just like brought me upstairs to the roof, and it was like a couple crew guys, and they shaved my beard and put me in front of the camera. And it was terrifying. And like that first one I hate because they used it for a couple of years. And I'm like it's really hard to be nonchalant.
Yes.
And like just be like, who am I? Maybe you'll just fall in love with me, America. Like it's terrible. By the last season, like you can't wait to do it because you don't care and you think it's funny.
Yeah.
But like no, but like it also meant everything to me. Like, you know, like I was like, Don Pardo from SNL just said like Bobby Moynihan. Like you dream about it your whole life. Like, you know, it was insane. But weirdly enough, sorry, weird story just popped into my head. I think in my second one, they were like, hey, where do you want to be? And I was like, oh, this is amazing. And I told them like the first spot in New York City where like I got an audition, like I just thought like in the middle of Times Square, and like just remember like Gilda Radner in Times Square, hers was in Times Square, and I was like right there, and they were like, great, we're not doing it there, like like so that one didn't work.
So it's a lot like Big Brother.
Yeah, exactly. There's one where I'm walking with a girl who's got like short blonde hair, and she just happened to be coming out of the subway. She looked like Pink. And she was just coming out of the subway, and one of the guys that worked on the show went, hey, grab her. And they asked her if she wanted to walk in this, and they were like, what are you shooting? And she was like, the SNL opening credits. And she freaked out. She was like, no way. We were like, why? She's like, I've already been in them.
Oh, wow.
And it turns out that like 10 years earlier when she first moved to New York, she was sitting on her front stoop, and they came up to her and they're like, we're shooting some opening credits. Do you mind if we shoot a shot of you? And she was in the opening credits twice by accident.
That's cool. So she's got a look. That's a look.
She has a very distinct look. But I just thought that was insane. I thought that was crazy. What a weird coincidence.
I love how you picked a place and they were like, you know.
I think like one of the years I got to do it where I wanted to do it, but I don't. Or I got to have. Oh, when we were at the bowling alley.
Yes, I remember that one.
Link balls with like the guy who married me and my wife, like my best friend in the world from childhood is the guy that I'm at the bowling alley with. Mike Henry. Best. I love you, Mike Henry. And that's my wife.
It is.
And now your wife is a Broadway star, correct?
Yes, she's the greatest. Oh, that's when before we had children and we were young and happy.
Children do ruin everything. I say that all the time. No, they don't. I don't understand the point unless it's to have little maids and chefs. Like if they just clean your house and cook, otherwise I don't get the point.
It's insane, but it's truly it's a blessing. It's truly the greatest. I'm very in love with my
right.
daughter. Yesterday was National Daughter Day, and I'm very in love with my daughter today. I'm
happy Daughter Day to your daughter.
Thank you.
I have to say, because people are starting to get mad that they want to hear us talk about Big Brother, but I have to say, no, look, they're thrilled to hear anything you have to say, really, Bobby. But
agreed.
I have to say, one of my favorite things, obviously, we know that you've done a lot of voice acting from like DuckTales, Bob's Burgers, obviously, but my favorite, what do you think my favorite one is, Bobby?
I'm going to have to say,
because I don't like children.
I was trying to think of I was gonna say when I played King Crab on Jake and the Neverland Pirates.
That could be close.
I was trying to be funny. Oh, Mel! Of course.
I was going with Mel. I love a Mel, and I feel I relate to Mel.
That makes me very happy. Me too.
You kind of resemble Mel.
I do.
Who?
Oh, both of you.
I think both of you.
Both of us.
See what you did.
Yeah, Mel's the greatest. Mel's the best.
Mel is. I love it.
And listen, okay, I would like to argue it's because I work at a preschool, but I kind of no longer work at the preschool, so I really don't have an excuse as to why I oftentimes stumble onto shows like Arthur and whatnot. But Nature Cat.
Oh yeah, Nature Cat. Yeah.
Wow. What is that? Because I always say if I could do something, I would do like voice acting because I think it's like the coolest thing. What is that like? Like how does that even come to be? Like, do you go to them with like, hey, I want to be this character, or do they come to you like, hey, your voice matches what we want?
No, I've been a fan of animation my whole life, and then I sought it out and looked for auditions and stuff. But I think like the first what really set it off was like, I had done a couple little voiceover things here and there, and then I think the first big job was after SNL, Dan Scanlon called me up and asked me to do Monsters University, and then after that, I started getting a lot, and then DuckTales made it. They did such a great job on that. Yeah, no, I've just been a fan and been super lucky. Nature Cat is the guy who writes Nature Cat. Him and his brother, the guy who writes it is David Rudman. He's Cookie Monster. He's the voice of Cookie Monster.
I know that.
Yeah, and he does Scooter on the Muppets, and him and his brother write the show. And I met them through the Muppets. I hosted the Muppet Show at the Hollywood Bowl, and worked with the Muppets a bunch because I'm just a fan. And that's how Nature Cat happened. Was they were like, oh, you gotta do this, and then I roped all my friends into doing voices.
I see Chubby Bunny in chat says, I actually have that DuckTales on for my granddaughter right now, keeping her busy so I can watch you guys here.
Fantastic. That's smart move. Confusing them voice-wise.
I am convinced DuckTales to this day is why we all throw money on the bed and roll around in it, or unless that's just me.
No, it's not. It's all.
Okay, it is all of us.
No,
that is what we
I don't think I've ever done that.
Really? You got that America's Favorite Player money.
I need to make it rain and start rolling.
It's your first live stream. I don't think it'd be appropriate.
Okay, all right.
I feel bad, and I feel like Bobby's going to think that we're just so amazing at this. Bobby, we've been streaming live for 10 years. I just meant it's the first time we're streaming live everywhere at once. Normally, we're usually just streaming into the TV Co-op because that's where all our exclusive content is.
I understood that.
Oh, you did?
I just love.
You love hyping me up. I'm sorry, but I'm going to shut up. I'm going to go away.
I'm a fake little boy.
This is why I can't play Big Brother. I suck.
And for the record, Eric's been doing it for 10 years. I mean, I guess I could have started when I was 15. I guess that could be a thing.
You got it. Oh, you're great.
Wow.
Do you see how she just age shamed me, Bobby? Do you see what she does around here? She's like, I could be old, but I'm not.
I'm 43. I look like I'm 712. No,
you don't.
I'm enjoying this.
It's great. I like that a lot. It's a nice beard.
It
I wish
is.
sometimes I could grow a beard. Like, that must be fun to do.
It's not fun to do. I don't know
No.
if fun is the right word. It's, well, yeah.
Because, like, you could shape it. Like, if you're like, I'm feeling a goatee right now, or like, I'm feeling like mutton chops right now. You know, you can just like do
Yeah.
your
If I had much more confidence, yeah, I would turn these into lightning bolts. Just these two
Yes.
little gray strips.
Yes.
I would turn them.
and nothing else. Just those two.
Evil villain.
And
Evil
shelf them so
villain.
they stay that way.
Right. I want to know, Bobby, you mentioned before when you started about going into the Big Brother house that first time, banging the pots and pans. We know that you are a huge fan of Big Brother. Was that something that you knew you wanted to do, kind of like an homage to Evil Dick? Or was there any other things you were thinking about doing, like a Vanessa beanie? Like,
Amazing. It was like I was a huge fan of the show, and I
Mhm.
got on a sitcom on CBS. I was on a show called Me, Myself, and I.
Yes.
And like the first thing I did at the upfronts, it was like, "Congratulations, you got the show!" And they were like, "You're about to go on stage and announce the show." And I was like, "Great! Can I go to the Big Brother house after this?" And like,
Well done.
essentially, like went on stage, like, "Hi, Me, Myself, and I," and then got in a golf cart and drove to the Big
Wow.
Brother house. And went like, oh my God. And I got to like tour it. And I was like, oh my God, this is insane. And it was the year that Jessica and her husband now, what's his name?
Cody.
Cody. It was the season that they were on. And like, I remember walking in and seeing Cody in the DR and just being like, oh my God, I'm here. And like, by the way, I
You were,
lived
like, on the outside of the mirrors.
Yeah, I was on like the
Wow.
ring, like like in the yeah. I don't know if I'm allowed to.
I've never been. The players, well, maybe some have, but as far as I know, the players have not been allowed. That's the one thing I want to do is look into the fishbowl. I've been in the fishbowl, but now I want to see into it.
It's insane. It's because I got to see it before I went in.
Yeah.
And then and I was like, oh, I'm on a show on CBS, and then it just so happened that they were like, would you ever host a challenge? And I was like, yes, yeah, like definitely. And then I did, and like it's insane. The second I was in that house, I was a fan of the show, so I wanted to like make jokes, and I wanted to be fun. Like it was my idea to do the pots and pans because Josh had been doing the pots and pans. The one thing I wanted to do to finally answer your question is I really wanted I don't have it around here. I wish I did a power of veto that I got like off the website.
Right.
Like off the CBS website. It's like a gold power of veto, like a necklace. Yeah. And I almost did this, and I'm so mad that I didn't now, because like I don't know what would have happened, but I wasn't going to tell production. I was just going to put it in my pocket.
Oh my gosh.
And just like walk over to someone and be like, hey, psst, and just like hand them a power, or like just leave it somewhere and just not say a word. But then I was like, my thought like right before leaving the house was like, this is a game show. So like there might be like legal, like, like ramifications. And I went like, I don't want to screw up anything or like whatever. So I didn't do it, but I'm so mad that I didn't.
Well, you probably would have been tackled by the house guests to get the power veto, and then you probably would have been tackled by production to not do that. Because quick fun fact, on my season, Cliff saved his like have not envelope so that he could do the joke when he was on the block next to Kat and be like, Kat, I am not your father. But he didn't tell production. So when he took it out of his pocket, that's why Julie Chen was like this. And we were all like, what's happening? Because they thought he was going to like say he had a power or something. So like they don't like when you go rogue.
That's amazing. Figure. Yeah, like like no one ever thinks of that. Like in Survivor, they'll make a fake idol. Like no one ever makes their fake HOH key.
Well,
did you take anything from the house?
This year, I took a rubber duck out of the bathroom. They know about it because they took it from me, and they'll give it back later. But I also ripped the picture off the wall of me and Cliff. Like, I ripped it off the wall. I kind of vandalized.
That happens. I stole everything at SNL.
Yeah.
They're not going to.
If it's not nailed down,
I get it. That's all. That's beautiful. That's really sweet. And as a fan, that's awesome to hear.
Mm-hmm.
I have the friendship. No talking.
Okay,
to
I'm
you.
sorry. Nope, it's all you.
None.
I know.
No, I'm just kidding. Please don't.
No, I know. No, well, I was gonna say, CBS Big Brother, like our Big Brother here, they only let like the press and the people in the backyard. Big Brother Canada is great. Like Big Brother Canada, I do the interviews from the bathroom in Big Brother Canada every year. When I tell you, I was like, anything that was not nailed down when I was in that house, I was like, deodorant. Like whatever they left behind, I was like shoving in my bag just to give to people because I know me as a fan, I've always wanted something from the Big Brother house, which is why it's been so great doing shows with Nicole for a year and a half, and she still won't give me one thing. But
I will make you a very big promise. I will send you something. I have a bunch of stuff. Because I have been talking so much and cutting you off so much, I will send you something from it. I have my friendship bracelet that Paul gave me. Paul gave me somebody's friendship bracelet. I have a couple tokens
Really?
from one of the games, and I brought this because it was close to show you. I have this.
Oh, it's Kevin's.
Man.
I love sweet. Was that like? Oh, that's probably the double. That's obviously not Kevin's, right?
It's somebody. Kevin has one, and
Yes.
I acquired one somehow.
I
That's
love
awesome.
that.
There's two
But
of each.
I love Kevin. And yeah. I got one of those.
Oh,
That's
Kevin.
super cool. You know what I just realized? I
What?
get another BB comic this year,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I have no idea what it's going to be.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
no.
I want to first say shout out to Kevin because his cancer is in remission and we know that he's been battling that. So I'm sure Kevin is doing great. And I also have to say, not to be Debbie Downer, but this is I feel like people are going to watch this show back just so that everyone knows Big Brother is not a show governed by standard and practices like Survivor. It is technically a reality TV show that is designed to look like a game show, which is why they are allowed to, so this isn't a secret, they're allowed to manipulate the games in ways that they want to get different things happening because it is not governed by standards and practices the way Survivor is. It's just a reality show.
Oh gosh, can we do another 5-hour thing where I just ask you a billion? I have so many.
Yes.
Every time you speak,
Absolutely. You're welcome anytime.
Because they so do. Every time they want someone small to win a challenge, they do the one where like you have to hang like they do stuff on purpose.
Yeah.
They have to.
I mean, I'm convinced that they do. I'm horrible when it comes to like historian. When it comes to historian stuff, I don't know that. I don't know if you're familiar with Rob as a podcast, and Taryn does shows a lot. He is like a genius he can tell you like down to the second, this season, this person did this and that happened with it. Like he was like an encyclopedia. He would know everything. But I remember the funny stuff. Like stuff
and
that
I
Nicole
have
did that made me laugh.
Experience that I relate everything back to. I'm that relative at a party that can't get past that one experience that I had. So everything relates to it. So anything you guys talk about, I'm like, that time on BB21, this happened. Like, I'll just keep doing it. I try not to, but it just happens.
It's hard. It's like a thing. I do the same thing all the time.
There are so many questions from chat.
Yes.
I want to take this one from Annie is asking, tons of people have asked it, who's your favorite player? Like, do you have one, or you can give us a few of your favorite Big Brother players of all time?
I feel like I've never missed a season, and I meant to say earlier, I watched a couple seasons of Big Brother Canada, and I enjoy it, but it's a completely different thing. It's
because they're nice.
They're all nice. They're like, hey, we're letting you go this week.
Yeah.
And like the have not room, all I remember was the have not room was like the inside of a whale. Like it looked like
that was a good season.
It looked like a Disney Imagineer had built it. It not only looked comfortable, it looked fun and beautiful. And I wish I had like the what is it called? The brick, like the furnishings were done by like some company.
by the Brick, which it's a new place now, but yeah, I think it was the Brick back then.
Yeah.
Big Brother Canada, no offense to our Big Brother, their sets are out of this world. One of their final 3 competitions one year they were literally in Tron. Like, there's the lights going and everything, and they're like battling each other on cars, and I'm like, how is this happening?
I will say
epic.
This season of Big Brother's set and theme and everything, especially the bathroom, was my favorite in a long time.
Yes. I
also like.
It's the most Big Brother. Like last year, I liked it was more homey to live in, but this one's more Big Brother.
As an all-star season, it's a fantastic set.
Yes.
I also liked the one where like Nicole and Davon and them came back and they came through the
suitcases,
the boxes. Like, there was also all the puzzles on the wall. Like, I love the idea of like, I want more of that. I want more like hidden Easter eggs and weird stuff around the house.
There is some hidden Easter eggs in that bathroom, the All-Star bathroom.
Oh,
because they have hundreds and hundreds of ducks, and I don't think I've ever shared this yet, but the one duck has a black eye and a cut on its head, and then 2 ducks across from it are angry with like angry eyebrows. And every night I'm like, what do these have to do with something? So they must be coming up at some point in a competition. Or power. Damn it, maybe I could have saved myself.
Amazing. Yeah, like, see that, like, I want like I want that. I want like something that if you figure it out and you get evicted, you're like, no, I saw the ducks, and they're like, you may go back in.
Like, that ends up being the case, and like Memphis is like, there's ducks, and they're like, oh, you're safe, and I'm like, I saw the ducks.
Oh God, yes. I was. I feel like I have to be opposite because you two
Eric,
are.
you didn't answer the question.
What?
Oh,
yeah. Sorry.
It's a great question. I have a personal. I want to give a Kevin. I have like a top like people I love from the show. Like Kevin, Amanda Zuckerman, McRae, like Andy Herron.
Oh, they're gonna love you.
I think Andy Herron's great.
Yes.
There's like, there's some great highlights. Like Victor, I wish Victor was there this season. Now I feel bad, like I'm blanking, but like that season.
Vanessa. Did you like
Alex and Whistlenut?
We know who you mean, Alex.
Yeah, you know who I mean. Those 2 were fantastic. And I'm being serious. I know, like but for me, it's underdogs. And in the entire scope of it, I was rooting for you the hardest your season. If I had to say who were my favorite, I would say probably you and Ian.
Really?
Yeah, that's why I was super happy when this season started, and I'm super angry now.
I wanted her. I thought that we could get a her and Ian showmance, and then we're watching the intro package, and Ian's like, "I'm playing backgammon with my girlfriend," and I was like, "Oh well."
Sorry, guys. There wasn't many people.
That's actually fascinating. Come to think of it, I've never thought of that as like this is kind of the first season that's just completely showmance list. That never really dawned on me.
Which is why there should have been so much opportunity for an edit that we would all have wanted with battling. We don't have to waste any time with showmances as a super fan, except that there's one giant alliance steamrolling the game and boring us out of our minds.
Yep.
Hey.
Eric, what were you going to say about you have an opposite opinion of us?
I was just going to say with the house, you know me, I like to just say the opposite for funsies. But no, I really did. Like going into the season with it being the 20th anniversary, I, as like a super fan, I wish they would have done rooms that were themed to iconic rooms or moments from past seasons. Like when you walked in the door, have those trunks stacked up that Devon popped out of. Have like an homage to Pandora's box somewhere. Like theme it to iconic rooms from past seasons. And even the comps, but I understand with COVID is why the comps are the way they are this season. But I would have loved to have seen comps from previous seasons, twists brought back from previous seasons.
Well, COVID messed with the comps.
Yeah, COVID screwed with everything, but that's all I was going to say.
Please, again,
Yes.
enough piping in,
Yes,
man.
I won't anymore. No.
Yeah, it's been a fascinating season. I can't believe they're pulling it off so much now. Seeing Zingbot on the second floor, like reminding you, it's just like it's also. I just want to say, Julie Chen should be wearing a mask too.
Yes.
Wow. A lot. Well, it's funny. I think the funniest part of every week's, Thursday episode is when she says, "And please remember," and she's basically saying, like, "Put on your mask and stay the fuck away from me." Like, I wish she would just say it that way. Like, it's
20
so
minutes,
much
I'll
fun.
be on my car on the way home. Like,
Yeah.
no one else is outside.
That was my first question for Nicole, like after she was evicted. And I was like, did Julie really do that? Like the second the cameras went down, obviously Julie walked over to you and gave you a hug, right? And Nicole was like, Eric, I cannot answer that because that would be.
She stayed her distance, obviously, because we had to. And she's like, "Nicole, I love you, and I want to give you so many big hugs right now." And I was like, "Me too, Julie. I love you, and I'm sorry I let you down." And I walked away.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was it. Tear.
And she
Tears for
signed
Julie.
a headshot, made a paper plane, and sent it over.
She was like, "Wait, what's your name again?"
Um.
Nicole.
I make it out. Yeah, Nicole Francel.
Oh. Which Nicole do you like?
Oh, this whole season, insane.
So are you not a Nicole Frenzel fan?
No, how could you? I mean, I was. Well, no, that's a terrible thing to say. Not was. I feel awful for her because yeah, you just feel awful.
I don't like the way to word this, but I feel like there's no other way to word it. I won't say who's your least favorite. I would say, who would you like to see evicted next?
Memphis.
Yes.
Yes.
I think that because we have a trip coming up.
Memphis, just because I'm not a fan of his gameplay. You have a trip coming up? What is that?
We have a triple. Eviction, so it could happen.
Me too.
Happened.
I was like, what? Got it. Thank you for clarifying.
Right? And it's also weird, too, because, like, as an all-star, if I went through all that, especially during a pandemic, and someone was like, oh, by the way, you're going home in between commercial break 2 and 3, I'd be like, oh, that's a lot. Yeah. That's rough. I mean, once again, like SNL, you spend an entire year in a place on live television, and we do it once for 10 years every week. But like every week, it was like your sketch is about to be on live television, and then it's cut, and it's not, and it's not, and that's it, and there's nothing you can do about it, and that's it, and that happens for 9 years.
Wow!
And it's like
it's can do that up until the last minute.
Yeah, I mean, I've been in a costume standing there ready to go on, and they're like, hey, man, that one's not happening. We're not doing that one. Sorry. And you're just like, oh, all right. But I've been in the opposite, too, where they're like, put on a costume and get out there and do this one. Like,
right.
Wow.
Yeah. But it didn't happen often, but.
Mm-hmm.
Right. There's a. Go. Sorry. No. Sorry.
There you go.
Okay, Cherie in chat says, what is Bobby's favorite name for Christmas, or can he think of something better to call her? So just so that you know, Devon had this last week had stopped calling her Christmas. She will go with like Halloween, Arbor Day, Leg Day, Income Tax Day. Like, what is your Leg Day? Do you have a favorite name for Christmas other than Christmas?
I don't right now. I don't. I don't have any words for her right now.
Are you a fan of Christmas? I was.
Her gameplay. I'm trying to be a little Big Brother scandalous, of course. I'm trying.
Yes.
But also like her gameplay this season has been super bizarre and not fun. But I also weirdly know. I'll tell you a story about Christmas, which is when I was in the house hosting the competition. I all of a sudden was feeling like I had been there for a while. We were in the backyard. It was like an hour or so into it, and I was feeling pretty loose. And I'm the comedian of me is now kicking in rather than the fanboy who's inside the Big Brother house. I completely forget, and I just lean on Christmas's shoulder and try to make a joke, and she's like, "Ow, ow!" She just like recently broken her foot, and I totally forgot and just leaned on her shoulder, like trying to be funny, and like she was like, "Ow, hey buddy." And I was like, "Oh, sorry."
I'm kind of shocked she doesn't still reference it because she always references her foot. I'm shocked she's not like, and Bobby Moynihan injured my shoulder.
I don't think it was as memorable for her.
Well, let me tell you, on behalf of the TV Code chat right now and myself, and I'm gonna go out on a limb and say most fans, thank you. Although I will say, Christmas's zing was one of my all-time favorite zings in the history of Big Brother, which of course I can't remember it now, but it's when they did the 12 days.
Yes.
Oh, do you remember it? Do you know it?
Last year's?
Her original.
No, her original one from Breaking Her Foot
yes.
when Zingbot was like, Christmas on the 12th day of Christmas, and they were like, 12 screws, 3 bolts, 5. And then he's like, and Christmas in a cast for the rest of her life. And I was like, oh my God, that was one of the best things ever. I loved it. I absolutely
Bobby, do you remember one of your favorite zings? Like being a comedian? Like which one you were
I remember I remember there one season, maybe there was one season where like I don't remember a single one, but I just remember there was one season where like all of them were awful and made almost no sense.
Yes.
I don't remember a one that was like, oh, that was like super scandalous, but I remember one season being like, that was the worst Zingbot ever. It was like they went too nice.
Yeah,
it looked like they tried to hire comedy writers or something. I don't know. It just seemed like it was like it didn't work. I don't know.
I wonder what mine would have been had I stayed.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
but it's hard for someone like you because it's hard because they go like, here's a Big Brother reference, and then they're like, and you're smaller than other people. Like it's like it's like you're awesome. Like they don't know what to say.
Nicole Frenzels was good. I mean, as far as like, being very baiting this season. Like I liked Nicole Frenzels for the laugh factor this season, but I also feel it's a gift. You didn't love yours last season, right? What was yours last season?
I mean, I laughed with it. It was very well delivered. It was saying how, Nicole, outside of this house, you say you have no friends, no boyfriend, and no contact with the outside world. You must feel right at home in the Big Brother house. So, like,
which I say is a gift. That is a gift. No, but seriously, the Zingbot. Everyone that plays that game is aware the Zingbot is reflecting what the viewers at home or social media think of you. I feel when
friends, no boyfriend, no contact.
Yes, when production isolates you as a loner, as someone that no one likes, it makes you come off to the house guest as you're not a threat. Like, we don't have to worry about that person. Obviously, they're not working with anyone. Obviously, we don't need to. They're not a threat in this game. Zingbot's saying they're a loser. I think it's a gift. I think it's a gift.
It's a gift to be called a loser. Thank you for softening the blow.
I think it's a gift.
It is. It's also, it could have been so much worse. But you didn't do anything stupid to warrant it. If I feel like the people who get it the worst moment of Big Brother ever, I would go as far as saying the main reason why I go, like, I would never go on that show.
Mm-hmm.
And they asked me to do Celebrity Big Brother twice, but like I'm not. I would, because I love those guys. I think the show is great.
Yeah.
But like I couldn't, because I'm a fan of the show. I don't want to ruin it.
Mm-hmm.
And all I think about is that awful moment when I feel terrible. That girl Christine, when she came out and like the audience booed her, like it was just like it's on SNL. I'm never getting. Me is never getting booed. Drunk Uncle is saying dumb racist things because I'm making fun of people like that.
Right.
It's like it's not like I'm getting booed because I
Yes.
accidentally said something ignorant and I don't know better yet,
I can see that.
without
I can see
learning.
that.
And I just learned that lesson on national television. Like, it's a fascinating, weird.
That's a very valid point.
It's like on I could come out the door. That's why I wanted to go to the after parties when I came to LA, because it's fascinating to me that you walk in a building and then 90 days later you either have thousands of Instagram followers and some new revenue and a job, or something else is going down.
Yeah.
It's great.
It's
Like,
fascinating. Crazy.
It really is. It really is.
America.
America, welcome.
America.
Well, look, you can also come out and it can also ruin all of it. But I will say this. I love that you mentioned people like Christine, Varner, Amanda, Andy. I know people feel certain ways about them. Obviously, Nicole. I can tell you they're such good people in the real world. So I like all the people that you keep naming that are your favorites are people that I can vouch for and say, like, they're great people in the real world and do a lot of good things for people. And
Which, by the way, Andy and Rachel Swindler reached out to me to say hello.
Rachel's great too. Yeah. Oh, that's very nice.
Both like, tell Bobby I say hello.
I met her at the party as well. Winston Hines was very funny. Very funny. I feel like I met a bunch of nice people there.
I love it.
But
And what I want
it's
to ask
so crazy. It's so crazy to have that happen in your life, and that's a reason why I enjoy it. I'm sorry, I'm a terrible interrupter. I talk.
No, interrupt away.
How dare you? I am the Z-list celebrity. No, but because you're so good at like impersonations and stuff, do you have any Big Brother people that you like to impersonate?
No, I wish I did. No, it's funny. I think I did impressions of B people when I was actually on Big Brother, but that was me being very silly. And I don't think they asked me to. I think, whatever. No, I don't. I will say though, I wish I could do a Zach Rance, or I wish I could do. I like those kind of players. I like Amanda and those guys that stirred stuff up, but were also good players.
We're never going to see that ever again, though, Bobby. And I think that's the thing about the show that has changed so much. And I think, and to be clear, because I already see the messages coming in, we are obviously not talking about the racism and those things that are tied to that season with Amanda and all them. But I feel kind of like
Amanda.
with
what? I really love all the racists.
Yes, believe me, but just trust me. People are already writing the email that I said Amanda's a great person. People just go crazy about things, but whatever. People don't play that cutthroat way, like the way Amanda trolled Alyssa, dressed up as the old lady and going after her. We're never seeing that anymore. Social media has killed all of that gameplay. Everybody is just, I'm your best friend, until they stab you in the back because they're terrified of being attacked on social media.
That's very valid. Something like the Fruit Loops, you wouldn't see that modern day.
Nope.
No. They got it. It's gonna evolve into I want to do a game show where it's essentially just a giant. It's Big Brother, but it's a giant escape room where it's 10 different escape rooms and there's 10 teams. And you just put them in there for the summer, and the first 8 teams to get to the next room move on. But two teams won't. They could get a punishment that says you can't do anything for 24 hours, so you have to wait. And then they just all keep fighting, and it's 24 hours, and it's all challenges to get to the middle. But it's
trademark.
Yeah, right. Well.
Yeah, I was going to say trademark. That's Bobby Moynihan's trademark official.
Yep.
What I saw a lot of people too. I know we're almost running out of time. I see a lot of people in chat asking, what was one of your favorite Nicole moments? Was there anything that Nicole did in the game that you were like, I loved that thing that she did, or it was just overall that you just liked her personality on the show?
I did. I'm a fan. You're a good person, but like,
Yeah.
it's also there was also something very sweet and wonderful about like what you got wrapped up in, and there was so much like I really enjoy those weeks as a fan watching the show. Those weeks where you're like, oh my god, if this happens the way that it does, and Nicole wins this, like it was just like you had so many of those moments where people were fighting for you, and then you kept doing it. And then like it was just a great story, and it was fun to watch. And then when I heard you were back in this, I was like, that's my number one. Ian was my number two because he won already.
Wow.
But he won already. But like no, that was. I'm fangirling out. But yeah, I waited until the last minute, and I was like, she's not coming to this party. And then I wanted to say hello, and then I was a huge fan.
As I was entering, we like crossed hands.
Well, it's weird too because you also like it's bizarre, but like you watch somebody for a whole summer,
Yeah.
you know. And you, I think your season I was watching the feeds a lot too. I think my daughter was being like, so I was watching the feeds a lot.
But at the same time, like I am exiting the house, the same person I did grow a lot, but, you know, technically the same person I entered as. So I was like, how do you know me? Like what? So that was very difficult to like.
Yeah. Yeah, it's super. Well, it's that too. It's like, you know, like, but it's also weird. It's weird to be on Saturday Night Live for 9 years and then go to a party where people who have been in a house for 90 days come out and you're like, hi, excuse me, hi, my name's Bobby. I'm a fan. Like, you know, like it's a weird, bizarre thing, but it's also fascinating. Why I like going to those parties is some of the people that I've met, I still talk to, and those are the people that went like, "Hi, this is my name. It's nice to meet you. Who are you? Oh my God, you're on Saturday Night Live. Nice to meet you. You're a fan." Right. And like we've had conversations.
Yeah.
But the other people, the people I don't talk to, but it's my favorite thing to watch at those parties is when they come through the doors like,
I am.
Hello, hello, like. This is what I wanted. Yep. Like now the party begins, and like that's fascinating to me because that's not me.
Right.
But I do like to sit there and watch it happen to people.
So I guess I'll ask you, you know, I'll flip the question to Eric. What's your favorite Eric moment?
I feel like you're trapping. She's mocking me. She is mocking me, Bobby, because I was in the intro with her. She's mocking. I was in her intro package.
Eric was in my intro.
And it was the back of me. So it was this. This is what you saw.
There he is. I recognize him now.
Amazing. Oh, hey!
Is that.
All three of us have been on Big Brother. We're all Big Brother.
Yeah, we have.
I would do an all-star seasons with just you three. Or just us two. Yeah, I think that would be fun. You know what? I'm being completely serious. I wanted to, when they said, would you do Celebrity Big Brother? I almost said yes, but on one condition. If I do a complete bit, I was like, you could say yes, you could say I'm gonna be in the house, I'll do all the promotion you're supposed to do before you go in the house, I'll take all the pictures, I'll do all the stuff, and then I just want to do a fake bit on the first night where you're like, we'll give someone $5 to leave right now, and I'm just like, I'll take it.
My gosh.
Oh wow.
Not $5, but just like some dumb thing, and I just leave immediately.
Now that this is out there, they probably wouldn't, but they're crazy if they turn that down. That would have gotten so much press. I
tried a bunch of stuff. My biggest thing was always, I asked a couple of the producers if I could just at like 2:00 in the morning, just come in the front door, go to the refrigerator, grab something, and just walk out and never say a word, just for the live feeds.
That would be so funny.
Just do something once where like I run in, do something like use the bathroom, and then just walk out like in pajamas and never say a word. I think I asked that, and they were like, no. And when I hosted the competition, I asked them, because my show was called Me, Myself, and I. Yes. So I asked them if they could have an old man Zingbot, a little like the regular Zingbot, and then a little baby Zingbot. Like I wanted to do some weird, and they were like, "We don't know, we're not doing that."
Children's so cute though.
I
To build costumes.
I have to say, with all due respect, because obviously all of us here love Big Brother, love CBS, and know how hard production works. I just think these are the things that they should be listening more to fans on stuff like this, and more to things about people who really love their show. These ideas, I'm just looking at chat and on social media. Everybody just thought that was the most genius thing ever. They can't believe the whole $5 thing. Brilliant. Just walking in for live theaters. They need to incorporate more
More of that.
fun things into the show.
I don't know his name, but I want to give a special shout out as a fan to the guy who has been doing. I don't know his name. I'm blanking on his name, but the guy who's been coming in and playing the characters like.
Oh,
He did like
Nice.
during the punishments. He was the mom. I
Yes,
forget his
DJ?
name. The
is
guy-
it DJ?
He did it from like Skype this season.
Yes.
That guy's hilarious. That guy's great. That one season where he was the one yelling. He was
Yes, because he was the alien for us. He's been like the grandma.
yeah,
He's
yeah.
been, like
He lost a
Uncle
bunch of weight.
Dino.
Yeah, he's great. That guy's funny as hell.
He's really, really funny. And fun fact, our floors were so slippery from the pie punishments that when he came in to like catch the Singbot, he went down. And that was not part of it. And he got up and kept going with the skit.
It was the tag on the next episode. Like, like the thing at the end of it was like the tag in the opening credits was him falling because
he went down hard. And I was like, kudos to him because I would have laid there like, ow! I'm injured.
I have one quick question. Did you ever have a moment where you like made a wrong turn? Oh no, probably not because you never saw the ring. I was gonna say, like, has anybody ever just accidentally gone out a door and been like, "Oh no, I'm out here"?
What do you mean, like in like the back rooms?
I guess there's a specific door that I'm thinking of because I've seen it.
So no, because they are all like magnetically like shut, and then the ones like that we can if there's an emergency we have to get out of, you have to click the red button to release the door first. And I know you were talking about like the golf cart and everything. I'm gonna guess you weren't blindfolded.
No, I was not.
Yeah, so we get blindfolded whenever we're transported behind the wall and golf cart, which hopefully I can say.
That's insane. Yeah. Well, of course. I mean, that's a given.
Yeah. But Bobby, I want to make sure I ask you because Lori Summers was asking on Twitter. She said, please ask Bobby if there's going to be a season 2 of Lofi. And I know this is a 2020 thing, so I was like, what is this? So I need details. What is Lofi? What's happening? Is there a season 2?
Lofi is a very insane cartoon that I was lucky enough to make with Comedy Central and Big Breakfast. These guys, it's insane. Check it out. It's on YouTube. Comedy Central's YouTube right now. It's about a manatee who's a named Lofi, who's a single dad and a weed dealer, and it's insane. But you should check it out. Yeah, it's on YouTube. Will there be a season 2? I'm hoping so.
Nice. Soon or after like COVID times?
I think soon. Hopefully soon. But I have no idea. And by I think soon, I mean I don't know.
Right.
Okay.
All right. We get it. Well, let me ask you this. Like, obviously, we are going to put the links to all of your stuff that we have talked about in this show below this video, now everywhere. But I just saw a lot of people asking, what is next for you? Or is there anything that you want to let people know about that is out or that you're going to be coming out? Like, what do you want to say to your fans watching right now?
I would like to say to them, I would like to come back on this show, first of all, soon, and just talk about just Big Brother stuff, because I feel like that's what I should have done.
Just flip it, and you can be the host.
I'm down.
Oh my God, it's like Dave Pumpkins. You'll be your own thing, and we'll just be part of it.
Or what about this?
You guys could be,
we can. Or you can join us for our recap after the triple eviction. And then we can talk about that episode.
Yes, can you join us for their BB recap?
When is
Well,
that?
let's not put him on the spot live.
Let's put our
I gotta
calendars up.
say
Let's all
it.
put our calendars up on the screen.
Oh, look, it's Big Brother season. I'm free.
I
So
would be totally down.
It's like I'm always like, yeah, whatever. I'm always free.
whatever. But no, what do you have coming up next, or what do you want to say to your fans?
I want to say, keep your heads up. It's all going to be okay. I love you, and I love you.
What about social media? Are you someone that uses social media a lot? Do you want to let people know where they can follow you on social media?
I mean, if you want, fine. I'm terrible at it.
If you want.
I'm out there. I creep. I'm a creeper. I just go like, oh, this for 5 minutes, and then I'm terrible.
All
at
right,
it.
we're gonna put all your social media. We got you. We're gonna put all your social medias.
I'm a great promoter.
We're gonna put all of your stuff below this video.
Gotcha.
Don't you guys worry. And of course, Nicole, as always, I'm gonna give you final thoughts.
Okay, so final thoughts. Obviously, say hello to your wife Bryn for us. Again, happy belated Daughter's Day to your daughter. And I think just in a general sense, like we were saying earlier in the episode, it's amazing when you're memorable for more things than just like main things. So of course, like you're known for Drunk Uncle, but you're also known, for like Taco with Justin Bieber. You're known as, I remember the skit with the space kitten, and you're like, me with the kitten. Like, and I think that's what makes somebody so talented and so amazing when even the quote unquote little things are so profound and stick with people. And you are just such a genuine person, a down to earth person. You're our kind of people, as me and Eric like to say. And for that, I'm extremely thankful. And we're glad to call you a friend. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. It's an absolute blast. I'm a huge fan of yours as well, and I wish you all the success in the world. You clearly have it. This is the best.
You.
But you did get robbed this season and should go back.
Thanks. One more
Well,
try. Third time will be the charm.
And I am now going to get the hell out of here and let both of you talk as the only person not to be on TV. Bye, everybody. Bye, guys.
Bye, friends.